Wake up. It's time to get up, Seth. Iggy to Seth. Come in, Seth. Wake up. Wake the hell up!
Where is this place? Where am I? Who's there?
You sleep like a log. You know that, right?
Oh, I must have been dreaming. But where in the world am I?
Shit, he can't hear me.
What's up with all these doors?
Hey, asshole, listen to me.
Seriously, who put all these doors here? More importantly, who put me here? God damn, that hurt! What is this thing?
Hey, don't touch that! You don't know how to use it!
Whoa! Who said that?
Great! When he makes contact with the generator, he can hear me. Now, how do I get him to touch it again?
Oh, what? What is it? Get away from me!
Okay, Seth, don't move.
What the hell? Let go!
Just shut up and listen.
Listen to what? Who's that? Let go!
I don't have time for that right now. I'm about to initialize a data transfer. Brace yourself.
A what transfer? Ah! Ah! Ah!
Data transfer complete. Error. Power failure. Must recharge.
Architect code 002. Initializing recharge. Cartographer code 001. Initializing genome rewrite. Access granted. Proceed with caution. Write at your own risk.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm supposed to do.
I don't even know where to start. I can't stand this. Let me give you a rundown of what's going on. I'm stuck in a room that is the only room in existence. It's totally white, square, symmetrical on all sides. There are 4 doors on each wall. Each wall is about 20 feet across, about maybe 10 feet high. Ceiling's white too. Only other thing in here is this machine. It's about 3 or 4 feet high, 5 feet wide. It's called the genome generator. God, I can't stand this thing. Just never wants to work. Anyway, I'm assuming you have no clue what I'm talking about, so I'll try and start over. My name is Seth Richards, and if I had to ever give you any piece of advice, it's if you're ever given the opportunity or the option to preserve all of time, space, history, all of the dead, all of the living, all of the soon-to-be living, if you're ever given the option to do that, don't do it. That's a lot of pressure for one man to handle. I can barely do it myself, to be honest. I should probably tell you exactly how it got to that point of me being the last existing thing ever. There were a lot of people involved in getting me here. In fact, I'm pretty sure over half of them had no idea they'd be included in this pilgrimage. But it all starts with a guy named Hugo Darhlian. He had to assassinate his best friend's father. For reasons I still don't fully understand, and I'm sure when I tell you the story, I'll learn some myself, but that's where it all starts. And after that happened, it was just a domino effect of event after event after event, until ultimately my domino fell. And unfortunately, my domino was the last domino to fall ever. But that's what happened. I can't go back and change it. Well, I could. I have the machine to make a new universe right in front of me, but I wouldn't be a part of that. Once I'm done telling you the story, I'll have to activate the machine, and it requires life to do so. You know, take life to give life. That's how this new universe is going to work. My name is Seth Richards, and this is the story of the Galaxy Door. This is the story of how I created your universe.
Please be here, please be here. Tell me we got one, please.
Galvax muttered to himself. He sifted through crate after crate, searching for something.
I swear if Mother skipped out on getting what I asked for in this much shipment, I'm leaving her to fight the next invasion herself.
He threw a box to the side and inhaled in wonder as he spotted a gigantic rectangular crate. Galvax pried open the crate with his giant hands and tossed its lid away. He dug through the straw covering his prize, praying that it would be what he was hoping for. He reached down into the crate and brushed his hand against rough, cylindrical metal.
Mother, I love you sometimes,
he said happily to himself.
Thank you so much for finally getting me my...
He stopped in mid-sentence as he pulled out the metal object.
javelin.
He said, disappointed.
Damn it! When in the world am I going to get my axe?
He threw the weapon towards one of the walls of the small bunker he was in, and it stuck, wobbling up and down as its kinetic energy dissipated. Galvax had been wanting a giant axe for a little under a year now. He stomped out into the night air, frustrated. The cool air brushed against his face, and he calmed a little.
Just try asking her again next month. Just like the last time this happened.
There was a lot Galvax was good at. Sword fighting, hand-to-hand combat, strategizing at a moment's notice, but being patient and refraining from anger wasn't one of them.
Calm yourself, Galvax. Don't get so worked up.
He took a deep breath in and choked on the air. Something rancid ran its way down Galvax's throat.
What the hell was that?
He turned his head in the direction of the smell and froze.
I need everybody in the middle of the village, now!
Galvax screamed. From every corner of every neatly built wooden building, people filed out into the darkness of the early morning. If it were anyone else, no one would have bothered to rise from bed at this hour. But Galvax had respect. He commanded, others obeyed. Being the leader of a battalion gave him that privilege. That, and with the way he could throw his voice, it'd be a poor man's excuse saying no one ever heard him.
Galv? What the hell is this?
Said Galvax's best friend Hugo as he spotted the dead body. Galvax ran his hand over his closely shaved brown head as he paced back and forth. They were looking at a dead body. Not just any dead body, but a member of their battle group. One with a child.
I don't know. I just walked out to this.
Hugo stared at Galvax with discontent. He'd finally gotten angry. Galvax had a past with getting mad and frustrated, and controlling it hadn't been an issue lately. He'd managed to keep himself a level-headed guy, but seeing a team member on display made him snap beyond self-control.
This is just...
Hugo couldn't muster the words.
Galv, I'm sorry.
He waved over one of the people in the surrounding crowd.
Go find Devin and his baby brother. Tell them their mother just went missing. After that, round up a few men and put up a perimeter around the village. This could be the work of the people that have been attacking the homeland.
He sent the messenger away.
Galvax, how are we going to cover this up? Calling everyone out here like this wasn't the best course of action. Battalion morale is going to plummet.
Is that all you care about? Results? Someone just died. Show some respect and stop being so selfish.
I'm trying to think about the safety of our people. After the attacks to the homeland, I'm not letting a single thing slip by me without a full cavity search first.
Now Hugo's anger was flaring up. He put Galvax's comment to the side and glanced at the corpse on display. There was a note pinned to its chest with a large dagger. Hugo left Galvax's side and plucked the note from the body.
Don't bother reading it,
said Galvax.
I already know what it says. It's my dad's name. Someone's targeted him, and I can't protect him because I have no clue where he is.
Wait, he's missing?
Yeah, for about a month now.
And you didn't think it would be a good idea to tell me? I'm not direct family, so I can understand that I wasn't told immediately. But he's been a part of my life just as long as yours, so he's pretty much a father to me.
Yes, I know this. And I refrained from telling you so you wouldn't freak out, like I know you're about to do.
Hugo widened his stance and rolled his eyes. A few seconds passed before Hugo gave in to his anxiety.
Well, I'm sure it's entirely understandable. Imagine knowing your father went missing a month after he had already disappeared.
Marlata, Galvax's mother, came running to the scene. She ground herself to a halt just before the dead woman.
I heard your call, dear. What happened?
Galvax exhaled in relief.
Thank Tails you showed up. Hugo was about to go on a rant again.
Hugo scoffed.
The call was about that.
Galvax pointed to the dead body on display. Marlata looked at it blankly. She'd been in more war than anyone in the battalion, and dead bodies didn't faze her. It took her a moment to notice the note that Hugo dropped. She picked it up and put a hand to her mouth. She started to tear up, but choked back the tears. Face gone blank, Marlata set the note back on the dead woman's body.
Galvax,
She said flatly.
we need to leave. Now, grab your things and be ready in 25 minutes.
Why? Is there somewhere we need to be?
Marlata pulled Galvax to the side.
I might have an idea of where your father is, but we need to see Xavier first.
Galvax smiled.
Good. It's been a while since we've had some good news. Already 2 horses and we can go whenever.
He stopped walking, mid-sentence, and stared, frozen, in one direction.
Galvax, what is it? What did you see?
Galvax's instincts were always on point. Marlata loved that about her son. But it scared her sometimes. She knew what every gesture meant, and freezing in place meant he saw something bad. Galvax scanned the area and almost immediately noticed a dark hooded figure out of the corner of his eye.
Whoever is out there, show yourself!
Everyone looked around. There was no one to be seen.
Galv, what did you just see?
There was a man in a shrouded hood sticking his head out from behind my building.
Hugo's face filled with frustration, but he squelched it. Galvax kept spinning, checking every visible corner for the same, or another, man.
Galv, I don't see anyone around here. I think you were just seeing things.
Galvax shook his head in self-assurance.
No, Hugh, I know what I saw. Do not question my powers of observation when they are far greater than yours.
Galvax shot a quick glance at Hugo.
You're my best friend, and I love you like a brother, but I am still your leader. Do I make myself clear?
Hugo stayed silent.
I said, do I make myself clear?
Hugo continued his noiselessness as he turned around to face the spot where Galvax spotted the shrouded man. He gulped and slowly stretched a shaking fist out in front of him.
Hey, Galv.
Hugo's voice quivered.
You ever had someone tell you to do something for them? With an ultimatum where the outcome would be death either way?
That statement shook Galvax. He fully faced Hugo and tugged him around by his shoulder so he could see him, eye to eye.
What the hell are you going on about, Hugh?
Hugo's arm was still outstretched in the same direction. He turned the left side of his fist upwards and stuck his thumb out.
Galv, I'm sorry.
Hugo turned his thumb down and a giant whip lashed out of the darkness, crashing in between the two of them, sending them both flying in opposite directions.
Hugo, what is going on?
Galvax screamed. Galvax was sent soaring into the weapons depot behind him. His back broke the face of the building and he landed abruptly through the opposite side of the structure. Through the hole he just made, he could see a disgusting, skinny creature, dripping black tar and holding Hugo up by his throat with a colossal whip that had just struck between them. Hugo was dangling, unconscious. Fear for his best friend stilled in Galvax, but he squelched it and went straight into action. He grabbed as many reliable weapons he could carry to fight, but he still couldn't find his axe. Once armed, he proceeded to examine the beast. It was enormous, at least 2 stories tall and dripping black ooze that smoked upon making contact with the ground. He followed the demon up with his eyes and met its whip. Nothing was holding it. The whip was erecting from the beast's upper back like a tail mounted upside down. Its hands were sharp and thin, like razor blades. Its head was draped by a dark hood, concealing all but its heavy chin and cutthroat teeth. The beast roared and, to Galvax's surprise, spoke directly to him with what sounded like multiple voices in one.
Galvax Security. Your father has committed crimes against this land under the rule and watch of Ruler Kleman. His time for penance has come. You have 3 days to bring him to the Court of Accusers. Failure to do so will result in your people's extermination, starting with your father.
The beast turned its head directly to Hugo and clicked its snake-like jaws.
In the meantime, we'll be taking this one as ransom to make sure your job is done. You have limited time, Security. Do not fail.
The beast raised Hugo's unconscious body above its head and stretched its mouth wide open.
No!
Galvax yelled. He leapt quickly from his standing position and plunged himself into the beast's side, repeatedly stabbing it until it let go of Hugo.
Mother, don't let him hit the ground!
Marlata bounded into action and jumped into the air, snatching Hugo from his fall and landing behind the nearest building as Galvax continued his fight. She set him down and ran her fingers through his messy, matted, tar-soaked hair.
Wake up, Hugo. It's time you help your best friend fight.
So, you did kill him?
Goodness, Kaitlyn, would you stop asking that? I didn't kill anybody. They just got in the way of my crossbow's line of fire when I pulled the trigger.
Kaitlyn brushed her blue-blonde hair behind one ear and took a sip of her tea.
And your target just happened to be one of those people who got in the way.
Reggie tilted his wooden chair back on two legs, keeping himself balanced with a foot under the table in front of him. He crossed his powerful arms with confidence.
Look, I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no. All I'm saying is that my target, the one I was assigned to kill, got in the way of my crossbow of his own accord. Therefore, I still have a kill count of 555 and it's not going any higher.
Kaitlyn rolled her electric blue eyes.
There you are again with that number. I don't see the significance of it. Number 5. It's not like you're going to get anything out of having a specific amount of kills.
You're absolutely right, Kaitlyn. I'll let you have my next set of kills for being so observant.
Kaitlyn growled and shot up out of her chair, slamming a hand down on the table and holding up the other, shrouded in a cloud of electricity.
Don't make me come over there.
Don't bother, sweetheart. I wore my rubber bracers today.
He pointed to his gloves.
Good luck giving me a right shock with these babies stopping ya.
Oh, we'll see about that.
Kaitlyn threw the table to the side, sending it flying at Hugo, who had just stepped into the room. He caught the table and threw it right back at the two of them. Reggie caught it and placed it back onto the floor.
Oh, hey, Hugh. What's up?
Reggie, can I talk to you outside for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Reggie looked to Kaitlyn.
To be continued, sweetheart.
Kaitlyn's cloud of electricity faded and she childishly crossed her arms.
Stop calling me that. You called me that all through when we were dating, and it's gotten old.
Reggie grabbed his crossbow off the wall.
You're the one that dumped me all those years ago. So don't be mad if my old habits don't die as easily as yours did. Sweetheart.
Reggie strolled over to the door and opened it for Hugo to step out. He followed and quickly closed it behind him as the sounds of chairs and tables slammed on the inside of the door.
You're such an asshole.
You've really got to stop getting her so worked up like that, Reggie. She's never going to get back together with you if you keep annoying her so much.
Reggie slung his crossbow around his back and leaned on a target dummy at the mouth of his shooting range.
Hey, she fell in love with it then. Who's to say she won't fall in love with it now? So what's up, you?
Nothing. I needed to get you outside so I could go back in and talk to Kaitlyn alone.
Reggie donned a suspicious grin as he pointed from Hugo to the door.
Are you and Kaitlyn, you know?
Reggie ran one finger through a hole he made with the other hand.
Oh, Tails, no. I saw what she did to you in your relationship. She's all yours, Reggie. I'm talking to her about a mission.
Oh.
Reggie unslung his crossbow and took aim at a dummy's head.
Yeah, that makes sense. And as for dating Kaitlyn, if it didn't work out once, there's a slight chance it might not work out again. But I have been thinking about it for a while now.
Did she ever tell you the reason why she ended things all those years ago?
Hugo asked.
Nah, she didn't. I've been trying to weasel it out of her, but she's held her story pretty firm. But I'm sure I'll find out eventually.
Reggie let out a breath, aimed at a dummy, and shot his crossbow, striking it in the center of its chest.
Go on and talk to Kaitlyn, and try to keep the mess off my floor.
He joked.
I'll be out here.
Hugo nodded and walked back inside.
Alright, so what's the deal, Huey? This isn't your norm.
Hugo shut the door tight behind him and looked out a few windows.
What are you talking about?
He asked as he stuffed a cloth under the door.
Well, for one, you just dragged Reggie outside and then came back inside.
Kaitlyn held up her fingers as she counted.
2, you're looking out the window as if you're about to tell me some top secret information. And 3, you just stuffed the door with Reggie's curtains, which you just ripped off the hinges to do so with.
Hugo stood up. His mouth was a firm line.
Okay, fine. You're right. I've got some Neutral news.
Kaitlyn scrunched her eyebrows.
Neutral news?
Hugo exhaled loudly.
Well, from a personal standpoint, it can be good. Example, I've got a mission that we're taking a part in.
Kaitlyn's eyes sparked with electricity.
Really?
She jumped up and down, clapping in excitement.
That was the good news for you. But there's bad news as well.
Hugo's face grew somber.
Okay, this also isn't the norm for you. Actually being upset about bad news?
He tried evading the topic.
Upset? Me? No.
You know as well as I do that you're lying.
Hugo was trapped. A few seconds of silence passed.
Kaitlyn, would you stop that?
He covered his head with his arms.
Get out of my head. I hate it when you do that.
Do what?
Kaitlyn asked sarcastically.
Get the truth out of you? Come on now. It can't be that bad.
No, but reading my brain's electric impulses like you do makes me all nauseated. Sometimes I wish you didn't do that.
Kaitlyn proudly crossed her arms.
What can I say? I have the ability to read people's emotions through electric traffic in the brain. So why not use it?
She tossed Hugo a haughty smile. Hugo rolled his eyes and digressed from his digression.
Whatever. I've got to tell you what the mission is about, and I don't have much time before it starts.
Alright, go for it.
Hugo took a deep breath and let it out through puffed cheeks.
Okay. I'm gonna make this short and sweet, but due to recent personal events, I'm asking you and Reggie to help assassinate Cal.
There was a long silence. One of those silences that can make a cricket go quiet. Hugo wasn't sure what Kaitlyn would say, or do. She was a wild card.
Kaitlyn, I need you to speak to me. This isn't something I'm taking very lightly here, so...
A chair flew at Hugo's face, then another, and another, and another. Then the contents of the table and the table itself. Kaitlyn was pissed. Hugo could tell that was abundantly clear.
Are you insane?
Kaitlyn screeched.
Killing anyone else and I wouldn't bat an eye. But killing Cal, the founder of our race and leader of everyone within it, that's just crazy, foolish, stupid. And not to mention that, Cal is Galifax's father. What kind of sick, twisted mission do you expect me to partake in?
Hugo tried not to give in to his own anger, but it got the best of him. He swung a fist at the air just as a thick encyclopedia-sized book was thrown at his head. Papers flew everywhere, scattering the floor with maps of the land.
Do you think I want to kill my best friend's father? Someone who not only started this whole battalion, but someone who is like a father to me too? I don't! But if I don't, I'll end up dead in the ground.
Dead? What do you mean dead?
I mean exactly what I said. Dead. A demon man threatened my life if I don't kill Cal, so I have to do this.
No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. How would this guy find you if you were to just run? How do you even know if this is a real deal? Someone could be setting you up, or worse, manipulating you into killing Cal so they don't have to. How do you know this isn't some trick?
I don't.
Exactly. You don't know. So stop while you can. Stop before someone gets hurt.
I can't go back, Kaitlyn. I've already signed a deal with the man. He forced me into a contract with a blade to my throat, and the only way out of it is to kill Cal. There is no other way. I can't do this alone. I've tried too many times to do this alone. Why do you think I've been gone so often? Why do you think Homeland's defenses have gone up so high? The person attempting break-ins? Yeah, that's been me the whole time.
Hugo dropped to his knees, sobbing, red in the face with tears.
Kaitlyn, I can't do this alone. I refuse to. But I'll die if I refuse to. And I'll die if I fail. And I'm so scared. So scared of dying. I'm begging you, Kaitlyn, please help me.
Kaitlyn took a deep breath in and let out a growling sigh.
You know, I really hate it when people grovel. Fine, I'll help. Only because you're kinda hot.
Hugo wiped his sorrowful face from existence and replaced it with euphoria.
Kaitlyn, if we weren't friends, I'd kiss you up and down until I couldn't do it anymore. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Hugo hugged Kaitlyn tightly.
Well, to be honest, friends or not, I'm not opposed to being kissed. And if you're going up and down, I'm definitely not opposed to going down, if you know what I mean.
Hugo backed out of the hug, straight away.
Gah, why do you always have to ruin moments like that?
Kaitlyn shrugged.
Sorry. You know I can't control my sexual desires sometimes.
Hugo's mouth was a firm line.
Anyway, I'm gonna go outside and tell Reggie that killing Cal is a liberation mission sent to us by ruler Kleman. If he ever finds out the true nature behind this, he'll flip.
Kaitlyn looked at him with dreamy eyes.
Kaitlyn?
Hugo snapped his fingers in front of her face.
Come on, snap out of it.
She shook her head free of her daydream.
Sorry. I was lost in a dream.
Hugo sighed, annoyed.
Go take care of yourself. I'll be talking to Reggie, and please don't tell me about it by accident. Last time you did that, it made the ride over on one horse very awkward.
Kaitlyn jumped to her feet and winked at Hugo.
No promises, Huey.
He grunted in annoyance.
Just be ready. The moment I turn my thumb down is the moment this mission starts.
Hugo left Kaitlyn inside the wrecked home and made his way outside to Reggie. He looked over at the dummy Reggie had been practicing with. Every shot was a direct, vital hit.
Hey, Reggie. Kaitlyn's already agreed to it, but I need help with an assassination mission.
Reggie popped his head up from his crossbow's iron sights and bit his lip as he pondered Hugo's request.
Yeah, sure. I'll help.
He said flatly. Hugo pulled his head back in surprise.
Wait, really? You never just agree to a mission without further information about it.
There was yet another cricketless silence.
Are you alright?
Reggie slung his crossbow over his back and headed inside the house.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just a lot's on my mind is all.
Oh, well, okay. As long as it doesn't affect your fighting.
Goodness, dude, that is all you think about. The fight. You need to loosen up a little bit.
Hugo walked Reggie back inside.
Yeah, I would if I had time for it. Everything is just a mess these days.
Hugo's eyes widened as he remembered the mess he and Kaitlyn just made in Reggie's house.
What in the hell did you guys do in here?
Reggie yelled.
Kaitlyn
tried thinking of an explanation.
Well, you see, what happened was...
I need everybody in the middle of the village now!
Galvax screamed in the distance. Hugo jumped at the opportunity to escape the current moment.
Oh, would you look at that? Galvax needs me. Have fun with the cleanup, you two.
Hugo began a light jog to the center of the village.
I really don't understand why I keep letting you people in my house. All you do is wreck it.
Reggie, I told you I was sorry. How many times do I have to say it until you forgive me?
Reggie sent his fist through a window, taking the whole frame out of the wall.
Every time I turn around, you wreck something! You did this even before we dated. You'd sit there and act like everything was bright and dandy just to avoid conflict. And right when you got upset, you decided to let out that frustration on my stuff. Every single time. It's like you're addicted to being a giant wrecking ball. In fact, I think you are, because you sure did a number on our relationship too.
Kaitlyn froze in place. She was emotionally paralyzed. She couldn't think. She couldn't breathe. She felt an urge to strangle something well up inside her. Her left foot moved forward, then her right, then her left again. Little sparks of electricity fell off her fingertips as if dripping from a faucet. She lifted her arms up and pinned Reggie next to the broken window. She ran her hand up his shirt and landed it around his throat. She took her other hand and joined it with her first, putting him in a throttle, but she was holding back. There was no pressure, but she kept her hands right where they were.
Kaitlyn, back off. Now.
I can't.
Kaitlyn, yes you can. Back off.
I can't!
Yes, you can!
Reggie, no, I can't!
Reggie stuck both hands up behind Kaitlyn and slammed them together, creating a shockwave, forcing her into Reggie's body. Her lips landed on his and she immediately pushed away. They both paused, both fearful of the other.
Why did you do it?
I don't know. I don't know what came over me. I don't know.
No, not just now. That doesn't matter. I've handled worse. Why did you end it all those years ago?
Kaitlyn hung her head. She saved him by breaking up with him. She hated not being able to tell him that. But if he knew, well, Kaitlyn wasn't sure what he'd do.
I can't tell you. You can't know.
Reggie threw his hands up in defeat and walked outside.
I shouldn't expect anything more out of you. First, you tear out my heart. And second, you won't even tell me why. What's the third gonna be? Am I gonna find out it was all for nothing?
Reggie, that's not fair. You can't do this to me. You can't get mad at me for this.
And why not? You're hiding something and you refuse to tell me what it is.
A shockwave of air burst into the room, sending Reggie and Kaitlyn soaring back into the house. Reggie caught himself and looked outside to see what caused the shockwave. Kaitlyn got up and felt a searing pain lance up her leg. She looked down at her thigh and saw a piece of debris sticking out of it, making her leg bleed profusely.
The hell was that?
I don't know. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Reggie turned around to look at Kaitlyn and saw the splintered piece of wood sticking out of her damaged leg.
Are you just gonna leave it in there?
Well, no, stupid. I'm gonna remove it. Just give me a sec.
Kaitlyn had the powers of electricity, so she could essentially control the electric pathways in her body. Reggie knew that. But how she used it to heal herself in short bursts of time left him dumbfounded every time. It was like watching time lapse insanely fast before his eyes. Kaitlyn braced herself and ripped the giant splinter out of her leg. She grunted in pain and quickly placed her palm on her wound. She pulsed blue static into her leg. The sparks danced around the wound, healing it with every bounce. A few seconds later, and the wound was completely gone.
Oh, I hate it when I watch you do that. It's disgusting.
Well, would you rather carry me around or have me be useful?
Either one would leave me with something annoying to deal with, so it wouldn't matter.
Oh, shut it. How's the front of the house look?
Reggie scanned the piles of rubble that were once his house.
Well, now that you mention it, I think the renovations look beautiful. No, Kaitlyn! It is completely destroyed! How do you think it looks?
The entirety of the house's front side was in shambles. Completely destroyed. The house across from them was in the same state, and in between the two homes was a giant rope that was retreating to its point of origin at a rapid pace.
What is that thing?
Kaitlyn walked over and touched the rope as it receded.
Gross!
She pulled her hand back in disagreement.
This thing is covered in black sticky stuff.
Reggie examined Kaitlyn's hand as she wiped the gunk off onto her tunic.
Kaitlyn, that's coagulated blood. This thing, whatever it is either dead or covered in something else's blood.
They both paused, realizing the potential adventure that could come with investigating what this rope was.
Pick up on the argument later?
Reggie stuck out a fist.
Sure, as long as you don't forget to continue it.
Why do I have to continue it? Why can't you be the one to continue it?
Kaitlyn bumped his fist. Reggie smirked.
Because you're the one who paused it, sweetheart.
He winked and ran off to follow the rope.
I said stop calling me! Oh, Tails, it doesn't matter. He's not gonna stop doing it, no matter how much I ask. Man, that's hot.
Iron. Lots of it. The demon Galvax was fighting smelled of blood and coagulating iron. In fact, that's what it was. Every time he made contact with the beast, he felt the familiar, goopy, sticky feeling that came with blackened, coagulated blood. Galvax collapsed to one knee, out of breath.
Mother! How's Hugo doing? I could really use some help with this!
He's not coming too.
Damn it!
Come on, Hugo.
She smacked Hugo in the face a few times.
Wake up!
The beast's whip lashed out and crashed into the weapons guild hall, sending debris ricocheting in every direction. Galvax took the weapons and quickly organized them into piles, strategically placing each one and dodging the colossal beast's whip all at the same time.
I need all front linesmen aiming javelins at this thing. Tie ropes to the end of your shafts and secure them to a building. We're bringing this thing down.
Galvax raised his weapon in the air, pretending it was an axe.
Archers, I need explosive tipped arrows aimed at the base of this thing's tail. Once this thing is incapacitated, wait for my signal to light them off.
50 men assimilated at the piles of weapons, plucking each one out of the pile and hurling them deep into the beast's tar-covered flesh. The beast was brought lower and lower and lower to the ground until its massive chain slammed into the earth, shaking the dirt beneath everyone.
Archers, take aim!
The men obeyed and pulled back their bows.
Fire!
Arrows discharged and sunk deep into the beast's spine. It screamed in agony, begging for mercy. But Galvax knew better than the trust pleads for grace. Every unknown variable about this thing was another reason for Galvax not to grow too soft. And this beast was the biggest variable he had ever witnessed.
Mother, wake Hugo up! Now! I need him!
Marlata pulled open Hugo's eyelids with her right thumb and held up her left hand. A small light winked in and out of existence, periodically growing bright and then growing dim. Marlata focused on Hugo's pupils. They weren't responding to the light.
Galvax, his eyes aren't responding to my Gidma's light.
No, that's impossible. Everyone comes to with the Gidmus light.
All thought of the demon left Galvax's head.
Hugo, you'd better not be dead.
The only thing that doesn't respond to the Gidmus light is a mind with negative intentions. So why isn't Hugo waking up?
Galvax turned around to face his sea of men.
Chalice, take charge for now. See to it that the beast doesn't move.
Galvax turned back to Hugo and his mother.
Galvax, you don't think Hugo's involved with something, do you?
Don't be absurd. Of course I don't. I trust this man with my life. Do you honestly think I doubt him for a second? My own brother? Your own son?
Galvax, he isn't of our royal bloodline. He isn't my son, and he isn't your brother.
He might as well be. He's been with us since I was a child. That's 20 years, Mother.
Galvax turned back to a sea of men.
Archers, prepare to blow the tail!
The archers did as were told and shot a second volley of arrows tipped with oil-drenched rags. They soared overtop the beast, raining down oil over its sticky flesh. Galvax grabbed a torch off the closest building and promptly jammed it into the beast's left eye. Flames licked the oil on the skin of the beast. A roaring flame burst to life, scorching every inch of tar-covered skin. The fire reached the explosive-tipped arrows, lighting them aflame and setting them off, severing the tail from its body via explosion. It flew high into the air and landed in a messy coil on the ground behind Galvax.
I am honestly shocked that you'd think Hugo was behind this.
I said no such thing.
Hugo started to come to. He slowly rolled his head back and forth, eyes still closed, trying to understand what was happening.
You didn't have to. It's quite obvious what you were thinking.
Oh yeah? And what's that, son? What was it that I was thinking about Hugo?
Hugo got his eyes working and struggled to his feet. Halfway up, he lost his balance and slammed his head into the wall of a nearby building.
What is going on? What in the world is that thing?
Hugo pointed to the bonfire of a creature.
That, my friend, is what almost killed you. Good thing the Gidmus light worked and kept you from dying. Isn't that right, Mother?
Marlata rolled her tongue in her mouth and put an arm around Hugo as well, helping Galvax keep him up.
Yes, dear, you are very right. It's good that Hugo is okay.
Marlata tugged Hugo a little, forcing him to lean on her more. She walked with his momentum and had Hugo leaning on her and not Galvax.
I'll take him to the infirmary tent. You take care of the beast.
Hugo awkwardly looked back and forth at his counterparts. He could feel the tension between the two of them rising, and he didn't want any part of it.
What is going on?
Galvax crossed his arms childishly. His mother looked away, refusing eye contact.
Nothing. Nothing is going on. Why would something be happening?
Oh, shove it, Mother. Just tell him the truth. You think he's behind this attack.
You what?
How dare you? I am your mother, and I deserve to be treated as such.
Galvax was pacing back and forth at this point. His anger was boiling like a pot of water.
You'll get fair treatment once you have fair thoughts, Marlata.
Out of nowhere, the beast's whip made one last crack, slashing Galvax across the back and crippling him onto the ground. The surrounding men hailed the tail with attacks, silencing its post-mortem movements.
See what happens when you don't treat people right? Karma, that's what happens. Now get yourself up.
She held out a hand for Galvax to grab. He reached back and flung his arm around a bit, but couldn't reach his mother's hand.
A little closer, please.
Marlata walked a little closer, hand outstretched. Galvax flung his arm around once more, but he still couldn't reach his mother's hand.
Galvax, just roll over and grab my hand for tail's sake. We don't have all day.
He didn't respond. He just stayed quiet. Hugo hobbled over to Galvax and crouched down in front of him.
What's up, Galv? Why can't you move?
Galvax took a few minutes to respond. Marlata thought he was faking it, but Hugo could see the fear in Galvax's eyes, the new knowledge that something was wrong, but one couldn't quite figure out what.
The lower half of my body. I can't feel any of it.
It's so freaking hot in this thing! I'm sorry, being trapped in one room for how long has it been? 7 days. It's crazy. This freaking beeping on the stupid genotypewriter. They're pissing me off for at least 5 days. First recording I sent out to you, it didn't happen. Then 2 days after that, it's really hard being in this room. It either goes hot and it goes cold. It goes hot and it goes cold. That thing starts up and it yourself, Seth. I'm sorry. My name is Seth Richards. I'm the keeper of the galaxy door and the creator of your next universe. This room is driving me insane. I can't focus on anything. I can't think on anything. I keep repeating myself over and over and over again. I'm doing it now. This room isn't okay. I said this once before, I'm going to say it again. If you ever have a chance to say to everybody, don't do it. You can't be a hero. You can't say to everybody. What's the point of this stupid... Genome generator, I found something new, an anomaly. I'm not the last thing in the universe. I'm in one of thousands of genome generators. There's a giant one somewhere that's controlling everything else. I can only create, not universes, but galaxies. It's a galaxy generator. A genome generator for galaxies, not universes. I was wrong. There's at least 1,000 of these things, and there's one giant one, as big as this room. I think I described it as 20 feet to 10 feet across. Sorry. You know what? There's just a lot of these things. I'm in one of them. There are thousands. That means there are thousands of people trapped in these boxes that are making them go crazy and go insane, trying to form the perfect galaxy, to form a perfect universe, with thousands of galaxies coming together to make one universe. I don't know, it's driving me crazy! And I can't figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do! I don't know, that's all I wanted to say. I need to get that on somebody, or anyone. I don't know if you guys people are watching this. Whoever's watching this, I'm going crazy. And I don't